welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Today we're gonna do some Q&A. I forgot what Q&A meant. It means question and answer. We're gonna do some question and answers.
We're gonna take some questions and give some answers.
There you go. I asked you guys on my Instagram, shameless plug. Check out my Instagram, check out his Instagram, and we're just gonna dive right in.
What's a shameless plug?
It's like you're shameless about it. Like you're not trying to be sneaky and be like, by the way, if you want to check out my Instagram, and you're like, shameless plug at IndiaBatson.
At D Martinez with 2 Z's and an underscore. It's a little difficult.
We gotta change that.
Drum roll, please. First question. What's the biggest difference between your cultures, and have you experienced any racism?
Whoa, that is a question to start off with.
Yeah. Alright, talk about your culture, man.
So I'm white. My mom's side is Italian and my dad's side is Southern. That's what they claim. If you ask my Nana, she just says, I don't know, baby, we're just Southern. That's all she says. So I don't know where we are from. I mean, I think there's definitely cultural differences. Like, you're Cuban, and when I go down to see your family in Miami, everyone's kissing each other, and I think that's kind of weird.
On the cheek.
Yeah. And then I feel like in the South, you just like shake hands or like hug or I don't know. No one's like kissing each other on the face, which is definitely different. I think there's cultural differences in terms of food, language. When I go down there, they're all speaking in Spanish, his whole family, and Daniel will kind of like, for the most part, you're good about it and you'll remember, you'll be talking in Spanish and then you'll be like, oh, they're saying this, or you'll try to like say it in English, but sometimes you forget, which makes sense. Like you forget and then I don't know what anyone's talking about because I don't know Spanish really. So, I mean, there's definitely differences.
Yeah. I think the funniest part about this last trip we went down to Miami was every time my dad would see her, he would like give her a hug and like instinctively give her a kiss on the cheek, but she didn't know what he was doing, so like he wouldn't like.
We had like an awkward moment every time. We'd just be like, we just like touch cheeks because we didn't know what to do. I don't know.
It was funny, but okay. Second part of the question.
We first just want to say that like I don't really even consider us like interracial.
We're just people.
No, but really though, like I don't ever think like, oh, we're different races. Like I don't ever think about that.
Yeah, I don't think about it either. I mean, but it is a big difference, like family events. You know, like family events when I'm with India's side of the family, that's very different than like the family events that I grew up with. To start, her family events are like very quiet, you know.
They're not quiet.
Okay, well mine are very loud then. Is what it is. Everybody talks super loud, there's music playing.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, that is different.
For my birthday, they like sung me like 7 songs back to back to back.
They really did. In Spanish, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is different. It's different.
It is.
Do you feel like you have to act like white around my family or something?
Put her there, Mr. Batson. That's what it is. Put her there.
What?
You know when you like shake hands?
Yeah, I got it.
No.
Okay.
I act the same. I mean, I'm obviously not like speaking in Spanish or like doing anything like that.
Of course.
But I don't have to change the way I act when I'm around your family.
Okay. Do you think that we've experienced racism?
No.
I don't think so either.
No.
I don't even think some people might even just think you're white. Don't you think?
No.
No? Oh, okay. I don't know.
I don't think I look white.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess you're very
tall, dark, and handsome.
He's not tall. He's not tall.
I'm taller than you, okay?
Okay.
That's all that matters. Pick one, baby.
Daniel, would you ever take India to visit Cuba? By the way, hello from 305.
305 to my city, Miami.
So cool.
That's what that means for all of y'all that don't know. Would I ever take India to visit Cuba? So I haven't visited Cuba myself.
But your parents were born there.
Yes, my parents were born there. Nobody has really gone back from my immediate family, to visit. And that's because just like a genuine respect for the struggle that my grandparents had to go through in leaving the communist country.
And even your parents.
Yeah. But maybe someday when it's a free country that I'd love to go visit and take India with me. But for now, I don't want to support the communism, and I don't feel people should be able to travel there, and take their tourist money that's going to fund the communist country. So that's why I don't, and that's why my family doesn't go visit. Now I know a lot of people go, but I just don't. That's the way I feel, and that's the way I was raised to feel. So that's my 2 cents on it. How do you follow God in your relationship in today's world?
Well, I know that we kind of touched on this in the last video that we did. We both have the same exact devotional book that Daniel actually got us, which was so cute. And you write your answers in it, which I really like because it's interactive. I know that was the main reason you got it. Mm-hmm. And we'll send it to each other in the morning. So I'll send it to him if he hasn't sent it to me yet, or he'll send it to me if he's at work and I haven't sent it to him yet. We're basically just reminding each other, we support each other and say hey, today's was good, or hey, have you done your devotional on it today? We kind of help motivate each other and push each other. I think that you and I talk about God or include God in conversation, I guess, more than any relationship I've ever been in, but in a good way, not in a weird way where we just sit around and talk about God 24/7, but it just comes up naturally because it's it's a part of our lives, and I feel we'll talk about it from time to time, Don't you think so?
Yeah. And we go to church together, so we'll talk about the sermons afterwards.
Yeah.
We'll, go to India's parents' house, and I'll ask them oh, what'd you think about church this Sunday? Because they go to the same church as us as well. And it's just I don't know, just a easy topic to talk about, and isn't forced or anything that.
And even the other day when we went to the gym, we were talking about heaven, and I was saying how I'm scared. I'm scared to go to heaven sometimes because it says in the Bible, I don't know what the verse is, something in Revelation or something, where they're talking about how you sing non-stop to God. And that freaks me out because singing at church isn't my favorite part. It's grown on me. I've had to work on it, but sometimes I'm they're let's sing it again, and I'm that's something I've had to work on. So I don't know, we were just at the gym working out, but we started talking about heaven and how I was scared to go, and I don't know, I just feel sometimes it just comes up, which is really nice. It's not forced or.
And we also try to point each other back to God. If we're struggling with something, we'll give each other, the recommendation oh, why don't you pray about this? Or send each other some Bible verses this is something that might help you out. A couple weeks ago, I was struggling with, probably 2 months ago, I fell into some anxiety, randomly, and hadn't really dealt with something like that, my entire life, really.
Right.
So I searched some Bible verses, and took a bunch of notes and wrote them in my phone. And then a couple weeks later, India tells me so this is making me anxious. So we sat there and we read all the Bible verses together.
Yeah, so it's God like put you through that and like pushed you and helped you learn like a new skill set so that then you could help me with it, you know, which is so awesome and like cool. Yeah. God is cool.
Would y'all consider living together before marriage?
No. I get asked that all the time. People think you live here because you're always over here.
That's an easy question to answer for us because we have the same view on it, and you know, I've got my own place, India's got her own place, and I do spend a lot of time here because you know, I've got a roommate and India doesn't. So it's just a lot easier to be able to like use the kitchen, you know, watch TV, you know, and not have to like worry about being super considerate with my roommate, you know, because he lives there too.
We love you, Mauricio.
We do.
I want to throw my 2 cents in on the living together thing. Like, I don't put down people who decide to live together before marriage. I think that everyone just needs to do what they feel comfortable with and do what they want to do. My personal opinion on it is that there's a time and place for everything. I think like if we were to get married, we would live together for 6 years. Like, why not just enjoy the time of like, oh, I wish like I miss you, like enjoy like the time of like being apart and stuff, you know? Like I don't know, I don't know how to express it, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a phase for everything, you know, and
we're in the dating phase.
We're in the dating phase, exactly.
Yeah. And like I think it's designed that way for a reason. And I think when we're apart, it's like it excites us to like get married because then we'll be together all the time, and like I think it's designed that way for a reason. I think sometimes people move in together and then like never get married because why get married? You're living together. Like, I don't know. I think this way kind of pushes you towards commitment. It makes you more excited about marriage, and I don't know.
That's a good point.
I don't know.
I can see that.
But once again, like seriously, genuinely, like I'm not putting down anyone who gets. I have friends that live together before marriage. Like, I don't care, but just my personal opinion on it, like my thoughts. Daniel, what do you think of India's YouTube career path and goals? Be honest. Be so honest, please. Like,
brutally honest.
Brutally honest. Like, say what you're afraid of. Say what you don't like about it. Like, let the people hear it. You know.
Okay, I will. Let's see. I really no. Got a phone call. Busy man. I think her YouTube is great. You know, she's built it from the ground up. She works really hard on it. You know, it's she's just an entrepreneur, and I'm with that all the way. You know, I'm very entrepreneurial. Is that the word?
Yeah.
I'm very entrepreneurial myself, and you know, I believe it's a great thing to do. You know, it takes a special person to be able to believe in themselves enough to be able to do that. So I love that aspect of it. There's some things that, like, you know, I know are a little bit. How do I word this?
No, just say it. Just spit it out. Give the people what they want.
So sometimes I worry like how productive she is with her time. You know? Because then like my schedule typically is, you know, go to work in the morning, you know, do school stuff at night, and then, you know, I have, at least that's how it was over the summer, right? Work in the morning, school stuff at night, do whatever I gotta do, and then go spend time with India, you know? But sometimes I would come over here and it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night and she's still working. And I'm like, if you would wake up at a normal time, you know, like at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, if you would be working the entire time, I'm sure you're not working 12 hours straight, you know?
No one is.
Exactly. So sometimes, you know, that with the flexibility, you know, and her being able to work at whatever time she wants to work at.
There's a lot of, sorry, we did interrupt. I was just gonna say that there's a lot of self-motivation with my job. There is no one telling you this is due at this time. Of of course, if there's like a video due, that's it. But like, no one's telling me I have to be at work at 9. The lights don't turn off at 8 p.m. There's no time, you know, which is hard, honestly. And the way I have my place set up right now, I will like edit videos on my couch or edit videos at my kitchen table, and often it's really easy to get distracted. Like if I'm sitting at my kitchen table and the kitchen's a disaster, like I just want to go clean the kitchen, or I want to go do laundry, or I'll see this or that. Whereas if you're at work, like you're at work. But when you're working from home, like, I don't know, it's tricky. So I'm working right now on making the other room an office, because I feel like I can go in there at 9 o'clock, clock in. Maybe I'll make a fake clock in.
I doubt it.
I'm gonna make a fake clock in. Okay, so maybe I'll like clock in and then like close myself off to work there, let myself out to do lunch, go back in. Like I think that's something you gotta work on.
Yeah.
But I cut you off. Was there anything else you wanted to say?
Yes.
Okay.
So the time management sometimes, you know, then I brought it up to you the other day, you know, with like as we get older, obviously, you know, at least with my parents, like they're not the trendiest, you know, and I would say by the time they were like in their later 30s and 40s, they weren't up to date with like the newest fashions and the best things to wear, you know, hair products and stuff like that. And like, what's the longevity of, you know, YouTube, and like how long will you really be able to monetize it and work like that?
And I think there's always a fear with like a new thing, because YouTube hasn't been around that long, you know. But with where the world is headed, as we discussed the other day, I mean, influencers are rocking the red carpet next to Drew Barrymore. Like they are just as like impactful in terms of advertising or whatever as like real celebrities, you know. And it's only going to become more and more, I think. I hope so. But also like I hope that my audience will grow with me. And like when I have kids, maybe they'll be having kids, and like I'm not saying my channel is gonna just turn into like baby talk or whatever, but like I'm sure I will become interested in other things, and I'll be showing kids more, and like I won't have an audience of 15 and 16-year-olds. But my hope, I know I watch a bunch of YouTube videos on like clean with me, and like I feel like I watch a lot of like adult YouTube stuff with like weird like moms. Like I watch a lot of like mom vloggers because like I love that stuff, and like I could see me doing that in 10 years, you know. So
basically, like as you grow, your YouTube channel would like evolve and grow as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well then.
Because I've watched girls do it. Like one of my favorite people, her name is Sammy. I'm trying to think what her last name is, because she just her YouTube channel is just Sammy. I don't know what her last name is. I think it's Sammy Marie. But anywho, she was just like a fashion blogger, and then she had a baby, and like now like sometimes she has like day at the park with her kid's name is Indy.
I think it's cute. Like India.
No, it's Indy. But then she still does like fashion. She did fashion for maternity wear. She did like, you know, it changes, you know. I think it just changes.
Okay.
I don't think you lose yourself, but like it changes. What is your chosen career path? India, how do you feel about his job and goals?
Okay, so I am studying right now psychology at the good old Georgia State.
Go Panthers.
Go Pride. And I'm gonna be graduating in May, so a little bit less than a year left. And what I want to do with that, you know, is help people who struggle with, you know, mental health and like addiction type of things. So I've got a job lined up with an intensive outpatient program, which is like a rehab, and I'll be working there. Yeah. So I'm excited about that. I do have other goals and aspirations of like
opening up your own stuff.
Yeah, opening up my own type of rehab place and providing housing for these people who are trying to get back on their feet, you know, which is something that the business that I've already started. And you know, alongside that, you know, I've got a passion for real estate. You know, I just love real estate. I'm always on like Trulia and Zillow and looking up properties and stuff. So I'd like to dabble into real estate more so. You know, I'm already doing that a little bit. All right, second part of that question is, India, what do you think of Daniel's job/career goals?
I think that it's admirable. I think that it's awesome. I think any job where you're helping people better themselves in any way is great, you know, whether it's education or bettering their mental health or making them feel beautiful. Like whatever, I think helping people is just an awesome job in general. I think sometimes the entrepreneurial, I'm not gonna say that word.
Entrepreneurial.
I don't know. The entrepreneur side scares me a little bit just because I'm doing that and I know how hard it is and I know how inconsistent it is and just like all the different challenges that go alongside it. And I would never push you away from what you want to do, but it just freaks me out sometimes that like we'll both be married and like neither of us will have like that steady, clear income. We'll both be like, this month is good, this month is bad, and like, you know, that kind of makes me nervous that there's not one person in the relationship that's got that like 9 to 5 like consistent income. That's something part that freaks me out sometimes. But that doesn't mean that I would tell you to do anything else. I wouldn't want you to tell me, go become an accountant. Like, I don't want to go become an accountant, so I'm not going to force you to do something you don't want to do, but it still makes me nervous.
Yeah, India's more of like a glass half empty type of person. I'm a half full type of person. So
yeah,
it balances us out well, because, you know, I'll bring to her, you know, when I was starting my business, you know, I'll bring to her like the best of the best, like this is what's gonna happen, these are my goals, these are the numbers and things like that. And like I'm all excited only looking at like the best scenarios, and then she'll like say, well, what if this happens, you know? And I'll have to, it frustrates me. It does, you know, because sometimes it makes me feel like she doesn't believe in me.
But that's not the case at all.
I know, it's not the case, but it helps me see both sides of it, you know, and she does it to herself too, you know?
Oh yeah.
You do it in your own business to yourself, you know, and then I try to come
I feel like that's what partners do for each other.
One puts them down.
No, I'm not only doing that. Like, I'm also encouraging you. I'm also
she does.
telling you like how awesome it is. Whenever you call me about something, I'm super excited right alongside you. But sometimes I feel like you're too optimistic with things. Like,
it's worked out since.
I just like.
It's been working.
I've seen contracts fall through in my business. I've seen people not pull through on their side of the deal or whatever, and like, I don't want for that to happen to you, and I want for you to like be ahead of it, you know? I want for you to be ahead of it. I don't want bad things to happen to you.
If/when y'all have kids, will you teach them Spanish?
Yes.
So the answer is yes, we do want kids. For the first part of the question. And I'd love to teach them Spanish. I've always thought my first language was Spanish. And, you know, I spoke only Spanish till I was like 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
And I've always thought of like when I have kids, like I'll do the same. Like I'll teach them Spanish and they'll learn Spanish and speak Spanish with their grandparents.
Right. Because
that's what I do.
Only speak Spanish.
That's how I practice my Spanish for the most part, speaking with my grandparents.
Yeah.
So I've always thought it'd be the same. You know, I'd have kids, first language Spanish. They're gonna talk to my parents only in Spanish, just so they can practice. And then I married, and well, I haven't married yet, but
we're married.
But then India, you know, I moved up here to Georgia. Me and India started dating, and she doesn't speak Spanish.
No.
So she does want to learn Spanish, I've given her 3 books, the first, second, and third edition of a span of
but that's not how
Spanish.
I learn.
She hasn't even opened them.
No, I see them under my bed right now.
Right.
I learn from doing. Like, I never learn math in class. Like, I learn when I get home and I do the math problems. I don't learn anything just like from listening or like reading about it. Like, I learn from like doing it. So like, I feel like I need to like speak Spanish with you to learn it, not like fill out in the book stuff.
Okay.
But you never say you want to teach Spanish, talk Spanish with me or learn Spanish with me. Because you say like you don't even think you know the right grammar and stuff, and you don't want to like teach me wrong.
I know like slang Spanish, and I'm not great
like
on
loose,
grammar.
I get it. Casual.
I just learned, you know, I never went to school for Spanish or anything like that. But I mean, it's just difficult. It's hard to teach somebody. It's hard to learn a language, and it's hard to teach a language, you know. So we're gonna get her a tutor. Female.
A sexin male tutor.
Female tutor.
A sexin male tutor. Alright guys, that's everything. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. Hopefully it was good to see like a little more personal, like laid back side, and yeah, hopefully you guys had fun. So thank you for watching. Sorry if this video was like 45 minutes long. Hope you grabbed a snack. You know.
Hopefully we're interesting enough.
Hopefully we're super interesting. Okay, I love you guys. I hope you have a fabulous Friday.